Welcome to AUSA's Army Matters podcast, focusing on what's important to the total Army community. We bring vital Army conversations and interviews on issues relevant to soldiers, military families, and all of you amazing Army supporters. Rotating each week, our show includes Soldier Today, Leading Great Teams, Family Voices, and Thought Leaders. Let's tune into the show.
By now, I think you know what happened to your sandwich, but you may not know how it happened. So let me tell you, it all started with the bear.
The morning air was warm and bright when the bear stepped out of his den. He stretched and sniffed. The scent of ripe berries drifted toward him and led to a wonderful discovery.
After a berry feast, the bear curled up in the sunlight and listened to the buzzing of the bees. Before long, he was asleep.
Hi everyone, I'm Holly Dailey, and welcome to today's episode of Army Matters. That clip you just heard was from the classic children's book, The Bear Ate Your Sandwich. It was read by me and my husband, Sergeant Major of the Army retired, Dan Dailey, and we did that a few years ago. It was part of a campaign called Jumpstart Read for the Record. This is where millions of children and adults read the same book all over the world. It was so much fun. The organization that supported that campaign was United Through Reading. And today's guest, Molly Haskin, who works with them as the Director of Army, Air Force, and Space Force, will also enlighten us on all their other initiatives. Previously to joining United Through Reading, Molly was a certified speech-language pathologist. And I also know she is a military spouse. She is an Army sister at heart. We're going to talk about what she does with United Through Reading and also the importance of reading together as a family, and even get some book recommendations from her. Welcome, Molly. It is so great to see you, and I always love seeing your smile.
Thank you, Holly, for having me on your podcast today. I'm thrilled and honored to be here.
To get started, would you mind sharing how reading fit into your childhood? Like, were you a big reader as a child, or is it something that you did as a family?
I absolutely loved to read as a child. In fact, I think I always had my nose stuck in a book. I'm actually an Army brat myself. And so as a child, I lived in Germany for many years. And one of my fondest memories of reading is my parents taking us on trips all over the European countryside and me sitting in the back of the car, voraciously reading a book, and my parents saying, "Look up, it's Neuschwanstein," or "Look up, it's Stonehenge." And I just wanted to keep reading. So we definitely read together as a family. My parents placed great importance on reading at all times, and we always had books in the house, and we went to the library often. And I joke that my mom can read a book faster than anyone else I've ever met.
That's a great story. What a great memory.
Yeah, I feel like I probably should have been paying slightly better attention to the sights I was getting to see, but the book was just much more important to me.
So, Molly, did the love of books lead you to your initial career as a speech-language pathologist?
I absolutely think it did, because I love words and language and the way things are strung together to create a story and to create an experience that you can only find when you immerse yourself in a book. So I certainly think it played a great part in my choice of professions.
How long were you a speech pathologist? And how did you go from that to United Through Reading?
I did work for 14 years clinically as a speech-language pathologist. And then one day I saw the organization United Through Reading. And since literacy is such a great part of the speech-language pathology profession, and United Through Reading serves military families, I thought the job was made for me, because it was marrying together two of my passions, language and literacy, and then, of course, serving our Army families.
It shines through everything that you do.
Thank you.
So can you tell me about the United Through Reading programs and what they have to offer?
Absolutely. For the past 33 years, the nonprofit organization United Through Reading has served the military community by allowing service members to video record themselves reading aloud to any special child in their life. And United Through Reading facilitates the means for making the video recordings. And we also provide high quality, brand new books for the service member to not only read, but then gift to the child that receives the video recording.
I have seen firsthand the importance of this program. How did the program get started in the first place? And it was designed for military families originally, correct?
So the wonderful part about United Through Reading is it was founded by a military spouse. And she took it upon herself to go down to the piers in San Diego and to video record sailors at that time, literally with a camcorder and a VCR tape, reading aloud to a special child in their life. And that simple but impactful mission is exactly what United Through Reading has continued to do these past 33 years.
Well, you're not doing it with camcorders and VCRs anymore, right?
Well, we have a story station that's in everyone's pocket because today everyone has some sort of device, either an iPhone or an Android or some sort of device. And on all platforms, our app, which is free and secure, is available to download and then utilize for our service members to share the gift of story time with their families. So each time a service member makes a video recording of themselves reading aloud to a special child in their life, it yields the gift of that service member's attention and time. And it also is sort of a unique gift because only you read the way that you read. So you do fun voices or you might do fun faces and things like that. And those are captured in the video recordings and then given to the child. So it truly is a unique gift and one that can't be recreated by anybody else.
Yeah. And I know firsthand how important United Through Reading is to the Dailey family, because I remember when our son was young and our soldier was deploying, he recorded books for our son. And it was critical that our son could hear his voice over and over again, especially as a child. It made that connection stronger and that reintegration a lot easier when my husband would come back from deployment or from field exercises because our son recognized his voice.
Absolutely. So we like to say that United Through Reading recordings are reliable and repeatable. So they're reliable because the military child actually gets to choose when they want to have story time with their service member. And certainly for times of deployment and separation, it's so important. But it also might be that their service member is home, but still working a difficult shift or just not able to take time out of work at maybe 10 a.m. to come read a story. And so they have that video recording to access exactly when they want. Our military children, I feel like they have a lot of things in life that they don't get to choose. And so the fact that they can choose when they want to read a story with their service member is very empowering and very important that we provide them with that opportunity.
And you're a military spouse yourself, as we previously mentioned. If you don't mind me asking you, how has being the director of Army, Air Force, and Space programs at UTR, United Through Reading, affected you and your lifestyle as a military spouse?
It has been a true blessing. So I have actually worked for United Through Reading for 5 years straight.
Woo-hoo.
I know, exactly. It's the longest I have ever worked anywhere in a continuous time frame. And that makes me so happy every day because not only do I get to do a job that I truly adore, serving military families, but I also get to work with an amazing team of fellow military spouses and or veterans because some are both. But it allows me to grow and progress and continue to do a job that I can make better because of the continuity of remaining employed through 5 whole years. So we have been a virtual organization for almost the entire 33 years that we've been in existence. Many people are surprised that we are a very small team, but again, we are all military spouses and or veterans, and we are a mighty team. And I think we are made that much more mighty because we are all living this life, and we feel very passionate about the program and the opportunity we're providing to our fellow military families.
I can definitely testify that you and everyone there make a mighty team. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, Molly will tell us about some cool new programs her small but mighty team are up to.
Have you purchased your AUSA swag yet? Be proud to show your support for AUSA, which in turn shows your support for the U.S. Army and our soldiers. Check out all AUSA swag at shop.ausa.org.
We're back with Molly Haskin of United Through Reading. Molly, let's talk about some exciting opportunities this summer. It sounds like military families and their service members have a wonderful opportunity to access United Through Reading within the DoD library system. How are you helping to ensure summer reading success for our military-connected children?
Expert research shows that reading just 6 books over the summer assists children in maintaining their academic progress and preventing the slide of knowledge known as the summer slide. With that in mind, United Through Reading partnered with the DoD to support the summer reading program within the library. And we did that by providing 3 different titles of carefully curated books that support the summer reading theme. So we chose 3 different titles so that we could try to cover the most age ranges of children that participate. A younger title available for younger children. There's a title that's available for our elementary school age children. And then there's a title that's a little bit more appropriate for our teen readers. So these books are available for free at our Army libraries. And there's also a nice summer cinch backpack available that I think is the perfect summer library book bag, but it also might be good for hauling like pool supplies or other things like that. And our military families can go and choose a book that is appropriate for each child and hopefully take it home in that nice cinch backpack and start their app library collection by recording themselves reading aloud together. Hopefully, once they do one recording, they will want to continue to make more because within our app, you have the ability to create your own library of stories.
It's so powerful to read together as a family. And you mentioned earlier the importance of establishing that routine. So is there evidence that indicates just how important this is?
Absolutely. So parents reading aloud to their children has been proven to be one of the most impactful ways to increase language and literacy in those foundational years. And using the United Through Reading app to video record yourself reading with your child or to your child creates a routine that military children benefit from, because once again, we all know that the military life has quite a few obstacles and quite a few unexpected upheavals that we can't always prepare for. Having a reading routine that military child can rely on or provide support to them through all these changes really improves their resiliency. There's just comfort in books and there's comfort in reading. And most of all, I think there's comfort in rereading familiar books. So maybe a book that you read, at one house in Fort Carson, Colorado, that same book is just as fun and just as exciting to read in your new house in Fort Rucker, Alabama. So that routine benefits our military children. And of course, the byproduct is great literacy skills as well.
United Through Reading, it has been a great part of our life. And growing up, I got wonderful grades in school, A's and B's, but reading was very hard for me. I always feel like I read slow. Reading didn't come easy. Like my husband, he can read something and remember the whole page for the rest of his life. And that's not me. I wanted to make sure our son loved reading from day one. And that's how we got started with the United Through Reading. And we made sure that story time was a routine every day in our household.
So I have a child who is a struggling reader, and it's interesting to see, and it's not something that's easy to overcome. So I really admire you for making sure that your child didn't have to go through some of those things. It's hard.
I recently saw that United Through Reading launched a mobile story station in the National Capital Region.
Yes.
What is the mobile story station?
Yes. See, I'm so excited about it. I can't even help. The mobile story station is an old-fashioned sort of bookmobile, but souped up and made relevant to today's military world. It is a traveling recording studio that has all of our wonderful books available, but also has the benefit of having a comfortable recording area in the back. So a service member can choose a book from our new titles, hop in, make their video recording right then and there in the comfort of the mobile story station, and then have that gift and that video ready to pass along to that military child. So hopefully you will see it traveling not only around the National Capital Region, but we hope to take it on a road trip soon and go down the East Coast as far, hopefully, as Florida. We do have a West Coast mobile story station as well, and that has been in the San Diego area for a few years and has traveled up to Army posts like Fort Irwin as well.
It's really exciting to talk about the mobile station because United Through Reading started off with a camera and a VHS tape, like you were mentioning earlier, and has been evolving to our families according to their needs ever since. Any future plans United Through Reading is working on?
Yes. Well, we have the app, and the first iteration of the app, which launched a few years ago, has already become outdated because technology moves along so quickly. And so we have seen the needs and actually taken the feedback from our service members and their families who have utilized the app. And we've made some fun additions already. One of the first was ebooks embedded in the app. So you don't have to be online to utilize the United Through Reading app. You can utilize the app offline. It will save and record the stories. And maybe you're waiting in an airport somewhere, getting ready to come home from TDY, or you're leaving NTC and it's time to head back to your training post. You can utilize the app right then and there and make some video recordings to be enjoyed by your child later. We also have fun frames that are an addition to the app. Our app recordings, the video recordings don't look like a boring cell phone video. They are actually a really nicely produced video. It's almost like a movie. And with the frames, maybe it's your child's birthday. And so the first thing they'll see wrapped around your smiling face is a happy birthday frame. We're always making new changes to our app. We have spotlight videos as well. So there are some fun readers like the Dailey family that may pop up into your story library. So it's always important to check back to see who the spotlight video will be.
Well, we are always honored to participate and read stories. It's very important to us. So, Molly, we are nearing the end of our podcast, and I'd love to finish with something really fun. Can you tell us what are some of your own favorite books?
This is so hard because I feel like if I name one, the other ones will feel sad. But I am a big fan of all the Roald Dahl series. Matilda especially is just one of my absolute favorites. And I always hoped that I could be as good as she was and move things with my mind. I also am a big fan of the British murder genre. So Agatha Christie is an old-fashioned favorite of mine. I do like a good whodunit.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Me too. Well, thank you so much, Molly, for joining us today. I would also like to thank Maria McConville and Alexandra Grinston for their help with this episode. And they'll join us again in the fall as we co-host another episode. But thank you again, Molly, for being a military spouse and what you're doing, supporting your soldiers and all the love and dedication that you're giving to all our military families.
Holly, thank you for having me on the show. And thank you for your unwavering support of United Through Reading.
And to our listeners, remember, no matter where you are or what you're doing on your journey, let us here at Army Matters and the AUSA Family Readiness Directorate be your eyes, ears, and voice. We are here for you.
To all our listeners, thanks for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to the Army Matters podcast on iTunes and everywhere podcasts are found. The Army Matters podcast series is brought to you by the Association of the United States Army, the U.S. Army's professional association, member-supported, Army-connected. Visit us at ausa.org for more information or to become a member. Your membership helps AUSA continue to carry out its mission to educate, inform, and connect with the Total Army, our industry partners, and our supporters of a strong national defense. For questions or to provide topic recommendations, email us at podcast@ausa.org. Have a great Army Day. Hua.